Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In the last video we have seen how to run Python program in different ways. In today's video we will see history and features, and including that we'll see some other topics. So let's get started. So Python is a general purpose high level programming language. What does general purpose means? This seems like a new word, right? General purpose means this language is not specific to any domain. For example, Python is not specific to a single domain or couple of domains. You can develop applications belonging to any domain. So that kind of language is called as a general purpose language. Now the other one is high level programming language. What does high level programming language means? For example, there are low level activities like memory management, security. These are like OS related terminology or tasks, but as a programmer you don't have to take care. Your concentration is just on the program or developing the application. In the background, the language itself will take care of the memory management, security or such kind of things. Now as you all know, Python was started by Guido van Rossum. This guy was a Dutch guy. He was earlier working on ABC language prior to Python, and he has developed this language in the year 1989. It's much earlier than Java as well, but sadly Python hasn't got that much recognition till late. Though it was started in the year 1989, it was made only available to the public in the year 1991. So it took nearly 2 years for the team to make it available for the public. Now where can I apply Python? What are the ways or what are the fields I can go with Python knowledge? You can develop a desktop application. Now what are desktop applications? For example, if you are running any program in your PC which doesn't require any internet or browser kind of thing, such a type of application you can call it as desktop application. For example, Adobe Reader. You can just read PDFs, right? You don't have to require any internet for that. MS Word or MS Office. Such kind of applications you can call it as desktop applications. The second one is web application. Now this is opposite to desktop application. Here you don't require internet, but in the web application the internet or browser is must. For example, if you want to open Facebook, you just click on the facebook.com URL in the browser, right? So such kind of application is called as web application. So all the websites you can take them as web applications. Now the other thing is database applications. Now as part of this course we'll be covering two databases, Oracle and MySQL. The basic CRUD operations I'll be able to teach you. So with Python even you can go more advanced and develop database applications. You can apply Python even in the network programming. If you are towards network programming, there also Python is widely used, and even you can develop games. If at all possible, I'll upload some project on developing a game as well in the future. Nowadays huge amount of data is being generated, right? If you open YouTube or Facebook, lots and lots of data every day. You can see that lots of videos are being uploaded, or in the Facebook you yourself are uploading lots of images, text messages, posts. So such kind of data is nowadays in demand. As part of this data generation, data scientists, data analysis, such kind of professions are in good demand. So these people are also using Python. The next one is machine learning. So Python is also used for machine learning purpose. And next one is artificial intelligence. For example, if you are opening Google Assistant or Amazon Echo, there are smart assistants, right? These bots or these smart assistant apps, they are being developed using artificial intelligence. In that field also, you can see Python. And the next one is IoT. You can say Internet of Things. These are only few fields, but there are lot of other fields as well. Just if you are interested, you can just Google it. You'll find lot of things. Now the question arises: you're learning Python language, right? Now why the name Python? For example, if I'm learning something, I need to know why it has got such a name. Similarly, when you hear about Python, the first thing which strikes your mind is a snake. Is it the name of the snake? Absolutely not. Actually, there was a show called Monty's Python Flying Circus. This was a show on BBC channel in the year 1964. The developer Guido van Rossum, he was very impressed with this show and he started to like that show, and once he started this language, he has named it as Python. So that's the history behind the name. Now, Guido van Rossum has done extensive research on various languages. We have to do research when we are starting something new, right? For better output. Similarly, Guido van Rossum, what he did is, he has seen all the other languages and he has seen the important or best features in them, and he started implementing them in Python. For example, the functional aspect has been taken from C language. Object orientation was taken from C++, whereas scripting techniques were copied from Perl and shell scripting. Scripting languages are like those languages which doesn't require class, method or any function. You just write the instruction, you get the output. And object orientation is very important concept we'll be covering. Java and C++ are those languages which have object orientation. Modular programming is outdated, which is not there now. Modular 3 was the inspiration for him. Now the syntax was taken from ABC and C languages. Now before you buy something or any product, you'll just check out the features, right? You just don't buy it without looking at the features, or even you check the reviews. Now when you're learning a language, you need to know the features as well. The first thing is, it is very simple and easy to learn. If you look at the Python code, it sounds like you are reading some English paragraph or a sentence. It doesn't sound like you are reading a code or something like that. So the readability is better when you compare it with C or Java or any other language. It will be very easy for the first time programmer or even people who are not good programmer to understand the code. And the logic also, if you write in Java and Python, the number of lines of code is very much less in Python. So if there is less number of lines of code, then it's very easy to execute and it is very easy to run, test and debug. So maintenance will be easy. And the next one is freeware and open source. Python is free to install. You don't have to pay any money. You just go to the website, you just download it. Next one is open source. Open source in the sense the source code can be modified. Most of the software come with copyright issues, and if you are trying to modify the content, that is illegal. But for Python, it is open source, just like the Linux. You can modify as per your requirement, whereas Windows is not open source. So there are a lot of customizations available. One is Jython. Jython is like customized version for Java applications. The next one is high level programming. You have already heard about it. The low level activities like security, memory management, such kind of things, the language itself takes care, but as a programmer you are not needed to take care of it. The next one is platform independency. For example, today I have Windows PC. I have done the coding. Tomorrow I got rich and I just want to run the code again. So I don't have to make any changes. Simply I can just run the code and it gets executed and the output is same. So there is a famous saying called write once, run anywhere to describe this platform independency. So Python is also platform independent. The next one is portability. Portability in the sense the code remains same even you change from machine to machine. For example, today I have a PC with 4 GB RAM. Tomorrow I am buying some PC with 8 GB RAM. So do I have to make any changes? Absolutely not. You just take the code, you can run it, the code will just give the same output. So the difference is seen, right? Platform independency is about software, like the operating system, whereas the portability is more of machine thing, like the hardware. Now the next one is dynamically typed. What does this mean? This is very important concept. For example, in other languages, if I am trying to declare a variable and storing the value, maybe you will be doing like this. What does this mean? You are explicitly declaring the data type including the value and variable. So that data type is mandatory and you have to mention it when you are declaring the variable or assigning the value. But whereas in Python, there is no need to declare the value. I can just take a variable, I can just assign a value. Immediately my Python will recognize that this variable belongs to int and it will assign the value of int to it internally. So the flexibility is good in Python. You don't have to worry about data types or range or memory allocating. Such kind of things are automatically taken care. Whereas in the Java and C, those languages are statistically typed, in the sense you have to mention the data type. Now the next one is object oriented and procedure oriented. Object orientation we will be talking completely in detail. There are few principles in object orientation: abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, such kind of concepts. So my Python will support even object orientation and it also supports procedure orientation. Procedure orientation means using functions. For example, C is a procedure oriented language. The next one is interpreted. There are two types of languages. One is compilative and the other one is interpreted. Compilative languages, if there is like 100 lines of code, it will take all 100 lines of code and it will translate into the machine code at one go. But whereas interpreted languages are different, they will be executed line by line. For example, first line, it translates into machine code, it gets executed, then it goes to the second line. So more like one by line approach. The problem with interpreted languages is like the performance, and the pro with the interpreted language is you can just run the program, you don't have to complain. But in other languages like C or C++, first you have to compile, then again you have to run. So it's like a two-way process, whereas interpreted language, it's a one-step process. Now the other point is extensible. For example, if I want to use other language programs in my Python, I can do that. The advantage with this approach is, for example, there is already a legacy code. What I mean by legacy is already written code. That code I can use in my Python program without rewriting the code. So the performance is good and even the reusability is good. The next one is embedded. Embedded in the sense I can embed my Python program into other languages. So it's the other way around when you compare it with extensible. Extensible is like using other programs in Python programs, whereas embedded is using Python program in other programs. So these two are opposite. Last but not least, it has got extensive library. There is a famous saying like Python has got inbuilt batteries. It has got huge library support that as a programmer you can just import the library and you can just use it. So in that way, as a programmer, you don't have to define the logic again. All the logic will be taken care by the library. You just import the library and use it. Now we have seen the pros or features. Now Python seems like okay, everything seems good. Now what are the problems with Python? Every coin has got two sides, right? Head and a tail. In the similar way, pro and con. The performance of the Python is less compared to other programming languages. As it uses an interpreter, the performance is not up to the mark. For example, if I need to develop performance intense applications, then it's not advisable to go with Python. It's better you choose some other language. Now, it cannot be used to develop mobile and enterprise applications. So, we cannot develop mobile and enterprise applications with Python. For enterprise applications, it's better you go with Java because Java is ruling it. Now, there are different customizations available. Like I said, C Python. This is the standard Python which you get when you install the Python software. It is used to work with C applications. Then Jython or JPython. It can be used to work with Java applications. There are n number of customizations available. People have customized the source code as per their requirements. Then the Iron Python to work with .NET applications. Ruby Python to work with Ruby applications. Anaconda Python to work with large volumes of data related applications. And this one is important, PyPython. As you all know, CPython has got interpreter. It is slow, right? Now my thing is I want to have performance improved from CPython. Now what I will do is I will not choose CPython, I will go with PyPython. So PyPython uses something like compiler. So the performance is absolutely good with PyPython compared with CPython, which is the default one. Now coming to the versions, Python 1.01 version is in 1994, and I think you don't have to remember all this, but as per the course I am just teaching it. Python 2 version was released in October 2030, whereas 3 version was released in 2008. The important point here is the Python 3 is not backward compatible. While installing, I have told you, right? Python 3 is not backward compatible. For example, if I have written the code in Python 2, it will not work in Python 3 if I don't change it as per requirement. So nowadays Python 2 is outdated, and even in the 2020 completely Python 2 will be removed. So Python 3 is the only version which will be in the existence. So in this lecture we have seen different things like how the language has been started, where it can be used, why the name Python. Then we have seen what are the languages which are the inspiration for Python. Then we have seen the important aspect like features. We have covered the features also. And then we have seen the cons. What are the cons with the language? We have seen different flavors also of Python. And finally we have seen the versions of Python. So that's all for this video. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. Have a nice day.